Description: SCP-4885 is an anomalous humanoid resembling the main character of the popular series of puzzle books Where's Waldo. This entails that SCP-4885 wears a horizontal red and white striped shirt, a red and white bobble hat, and jeans. However, a noticeable difference in appearance from the character is the entity's paler skin and the lack of eyes. In the event that a subject knows of SCP-4885's current location at any given time, SCP-4885 will move to the nearest wall and begin to phase into it. SCP-4885 will appear inside of the subject and will reach up the esophagus and grab the subject's chin through their mouth. SCP-4885 will then proceed to pull themselves through the subject, destroying their internal organs and their spine. Once this has occurred, a yellow liquid will exit the corpse's mouth and will cover the subject entirely, which causes it to become an SCP-4885-1 instance. SCP-4885 will remain in its current location, occasionally patrolling the area until another person discovers its location once again. However, if SCP-4885 is close enough to the subject when they discover its location, they will instead approach the subject, attempt to climb into the subject's mouth, enter their abdomen, and exit their body through the subject's pelvis. During this time, SCP-4885 can easily dislocate and relocate any joint in its body, and its skin and muscles will gain the consistency of a malleable solid, allowing it to easily climb into and out of the subject. SCP-4885-1 instances are anomalous corpses that were created by SCP-4885. The entire body of a -1 instance is covered in illustrations similar to those found in Where's Waldo books, with many different characters appearing on the subject's skin. These illustrations originate from the liquid that exits the corpse's mouth. Currently, no instances of the cartoon character Waldo have been found on a -1 instance. These illustrations cannot be removed from the subject unless the skin it is placed on is removed. If a subject knows the location of any given -1 instance, SCP-4885 will teleport itself to the subject and kill them in the exact same manner as if they discovered SCP-4885 itself. This will also transform them into an SCP-4885-1 instance. Well, Mike's cheeks may have just been ripped again by Waldo, but you know where he also isn't faring much better? Yep, IKEA. Maze of Shelves Episode 2 is here, a whole new 48-page comic book set inside SCP-3008, continuing the story from the super successful Episode 1. And Mike has his own custom cover once again, but there is a limited supply, so hurry, because once it's gone, it's gone. Haven't read part 1? I've got you covered. There are 10, but only 10, limited exclusive bundles up for grabs on the Kickstarter where you can get the printed parts 1 and 2 with the Mike custom covers and even this adorable little Mike pin thrown in as well. It's time to dive back into the infinite IKEA to continue the story, but time and supply are both running out, so follow my link and get chapter 2 of the Maze of Shelves comic book today. Special Containment Procedures. Currently, it is only theorized that SCP-4885 is contained. To further elaborate, SCP-4885 is contained within an unknown Class 17 containment chamber in an unknown site. In the event that SCP-4885 breaches containment, Procedure Invenient Eum is to be enacted, which consists of the following procedures. 36 Class 17 containment chambers are to be connected to an independent self-driving vehicle. At all times, 216 inactive containment chambers are to be readily available in case of sudden and unforeseen breach of SCP-4885's containment. One D-Class subject of stable mental health is to be submitted into the vehicle and driven into the system. A cryptographically secure pseudo-random number generator is to choose a random number between 1 and 36, and the vehicle is to be transported to a containment chamber based on the number chosen. Each containment chamber has a single digital monitor that is capable of outputting video at 720p resolution. Once a D-Class is transported to a random chamber, a message is to be sent to every monitor simultaneously. This message consists of the current location of SCP-4885 delivered via an implanted tracking device. The GPS is only accessible by Level 5 personnel or SCP-4885 containment staff on a need-to-know basis. After approximately 2 hours, each containment chamber is to be transported to a randomly designated Foundation site via self-driving trucks. The trucks are to be disguised as a packaging service in order to prevent suspicion. In the event an accident occurs during this stage, Procedure Inveniant Eum is to be enacted again. No personnel who are aware of SCP-4885's existence are to go within 100 meters of any Class 17 containment chamber. Several signs and warnings have been placed around each chamber, labeling it as a water treatment room, and that attempted access is punishable by immediate amnestication and loss of employment as decided by the Ethics Committee. These warnings tell personnel to report to a nearby automated site overseer of any leaks from the chamber, in which the person will be visually amnesticized by the overseer and Procedure Inveniant Eum will be enacted. For more information regarding the composition of Class 17 containment chambers, please consult document 7631. Currently, SCP-4885-1 instances that are located via FAR-2 AIC are contained within Location Indigo. The whereabouts of Location Indigo are only known to FAR-2 AIC. Currently, FAR-2 AIC is connected to 80% of CCTV security cameras within the United States and 40% of total CCTV security cameras on Earth. SCP-4885-1 instances discovered by FAR-2 AIC will have specialized Foundation carrier drones be dispatched and attempt to grab the body and carry it to Location Indigo using routes that minimize the chance of unwanted civilian interference. In the event that a civilian notices a drone and SCP-4885 breaches containment, the drone will send an all-alert message to SCP-4885's containment team and Procedure Inveniant Eum will be enacted. In the event that Location Indigo's whereabouts are discovered at large, the next personnel located within document Paint the Town Yellow will establish the next Location Indigo and their immediate family will be notified of their death. Initial discovery. SCP-4885 was discovered residing within a small wooden house. Mobile Task Force Chi-19 Unrelenting Punishment was sent to capture an entirely separate anomaly and did not know of SCP-4885's existence. Begin log.
Mic check.
Yep.
All good.
Equipment check.
Everything's working as intended.
Ditto.
Transcript number 67. We're entering the house.
The group enters the house.
Initial descriptions of the object were a pair of black spectacles capable of killing the user, and covering their body in strange pictures from an unknown children's book.
It was obviously Wes
Dad, stay professional.
I just want to bring some life into M1's robotic speech.
I'm trying to keep my job, Kurt.
The group search the ground floor for the object and begin to go upstairs. Scraping noises are heard below them, but the group does not notice this.
There's a picture on the wall. Yeah, looks weird. Looks like crayon.
Take a picture.
Already on it.
Good. You think it has something to do with the anomaly?
Of course, it looks like Waldo.
Do any of you have an idea on where the object may be?
I think it's in here.
Which room is this?
Bathroom. There's a toilet and a shower? Yeah, at least I think it's a shower.
The room is circular with a normal porcelain toilet at the other side of the room. There is a small depression into the floor leading to a small drain.
Strange. What kind of shower is this?
There's a modified sprinkler on the ceiling. There's a switch on one side of the room that, I assume, would activate the sprinkler. Seeing as this house has been abandoned for several years, I doubt it would work.
M3 activates the switch. Water begins to come out of the sprinkler.
I stand corrected. Who's paying the water bill for this to work? Is it still hot?
M3 touches the water and immediately recoils in pain.
Gah! It's scalding.
Who is...
Hey, you two, I found the object. It was, resting on a toilet.
M2 is seen holding a pair of black circular glasses. M2 carefully examines the object, checking for fingerprints or any other traces of evidence.
Yep, these are the ones. I'll put them in a bag real quick.
M2 produces a plastic bag from a small container around his waist and places the glasses inside.
There's an inscription here. It's in,
Where?
over here, on the wall.
The phrase is seen on the wall in
This was definitely not here when we first got here. Should we just leave it be and tell command about this, or...?
It's most likely mimetic. Here, let me translate it.
M1 takes out a small Foundation-made translator and inputs the phrase.
Huh. Well, never mind. Doesn't appear to be mimetic. It says... the basement. The corpses from a child's book are in the basement. He is there too. And then it cuts off.
Take a picture, and we'll send it back.
M1 begins to groan and hold their stomach. A set of fingers exits M1's mouth and grabs their jaw. The hands push through, launching the jaw across the room. SCP-4885 exits M1's body.
What the fuck?
Both M2 and M3 begin shooting at SCP-4885. The entity charges towards M3 and shoves their fingers down their throat and begins clawing into their mouth by unhinging their jaw.
Fuck, oh god, please, command. I repeat. We need assistance ASAP. Help!
The audio is abruptly severed. End log. When the transcript was received by a nearby site, the site almost immediately went into lockdown as SCP-4885 killed most of its personnel. The O5 Council enacted an emergency meeting and Procedure Inveniant Ium was created. Shortly after this, the procedure was enacted and SCP-4885 was theorized to be contained. All information regarding SCP-4885's location of discovery was removed via an automatic algorithm and SCP-4885's file was created. Addendum. Note from lead researcher Andrew Pent.
Recently, I was alerted to the apparent danger of SCP-4885 and the corpses that it creates. Sure, we have Procedure Inveniant but there are presumably hundreds of SCP-4885-1 instances out there that we cannot contain at all, as even the O5 Council has stated that they do not know how to contain the corpses. Here's my proposal. I will require no declass, nor any help from anyone. I will create an algorithm for drones and other machines to detect SCP-4885-1 instances, grab them, and deliver them to a specific location, which I will refer to as Location I. Location I, as far as any of you are concerned, will not exist. This Location I will be known to no one, except for me and me alone. I will establish Location I in the algorithm that I have created, and I will allow SCP-4885-1 instances to be dropped off at Location I. Any of you that know SCP-4885's effect know where this is going. Once Location I has been established, and the algorithm is up and running, I will exile myself to a location that, as far as any of you are concerned, will not exist. I will cast myself to the forest, and I will wait for SCP-4885 to take me. Roughly 3 days after I exile myself, activate Procedure Inveniant and do not go looking for Location I. If you are reading this and you're not an O5, then everything that I just said has already happened, and this proposal is a success. No need to pray for me. Instead, pray that you never find Waldo.
You can support Mike's suffering on Ko-Fi and check out this video for another great story. Please leave a like and subscribe if you made it this far. Big up the members and patrons, and special thanks to my patron guest voices, Viger, Zehex, and Andre Bachet.